So this is Pierre's list from the Birmingham event that won the event, and if you follow my content pretty close, I've been talking about how BOSSK Blue is just, to me, is in a really good spot. Like, a lot of the new cards it got just make it even stronger, and it really has well-rounded matchups across the board. Like, I don't think there's a single matchup where I'm like, yeah, that's a bad matchup for BOSSK. And the best thing is you can create and tailor this list depending on what you think is going to be there and what you think you're going to be up against. What I really like about this list in particular is the 3 Merciless contests to go with the 3 Power of the Dark Side. So like on that 6 resource turn, he has 3 different options of cards that he could pair together, like with Power of the Dark Side, Open Fire, Merciless Contest. And those all can be relevant depending on what he's playing against. Like, you know, if an opponent knows that you might have Power of the Dark Side and they try to play other units so that their leader can dodge that, then you can use Merciless Contest in combination with Power of the Dark Side to just make them sacrifice 2 units. Making your opponent sacrifice units is just an incredible removal in any game that I've played. Obviously, against go wide strategies is less effective because they're just going to pick the least powerful unit on the board. But if you're in control of what's going on and you're dictating things when you're playing a control list, it becomes a lot more effective. And you also could play Perilous Position. I'm sorry, forgot to mention that. And Perilous Position is amazing because you exhaust the leader immediately and make it a -2/2. And you know, that's another card that's just incredible that BOSSK got. I really like this list because it's extremely consistent, extremely streamlined. It's going to do the same things every game. The 2 Fell the Dragon and the Vanquish, I think, are just basically Vanquish is a 3rd copy of Fell the Dragon with the ability to defeat non-leaders that might have only 4 power. It also just gives you a card to play on curve at 5 resources, I think, potentially. But overall, yeah, it's just very streamlined. Perilous Position is a really, really strong card. We saw that in so many, just about every blue deck there was 2 to 3 copies of that card, which totally makes sense because it's just an amazing card all around. It's good in so many situations. It's extremely strong as a way to deal with leaders. So another thing that it does really well is it synergizes with all the removal in this list. So for example, let's take a Wrecker, right? We put a Perilous Position on a Wrecker, make it a 5/4, and exhaust it immediately, right? And Wrecker usually comes out on the 6 resource turn. So we're going to be at 7 resources is the next turn, right? So now, if we're able to, we claim the initiative. If not, we take 5 damage, which is better than 7. But then we have the ability to play a top target on our 7 resource turn onto Wrecker, and make it then use BOSSK's Bounty ability to ping it for 1, get it down to 3 HP, and then we can play a Vigilance, and then we can gain 11 life. So a 6-point life swing in our favor that turn. But you know, more examples. Perilous Position with a Fet's Fire Spray immediately makes it kill open fire or takedown to be able to take it out. Perilous Position pairs really well with Snoke. It basically makes something have -4/4. So a leader that had 5 power will only have 1 power, or Fet's Fire Spray will only have 1 power. A Wrecker would only have 3 power. Poe would only have 2 power. Then it lines up for your Palpatine, right? Then Palpatine's able to just pick everything off, literally with its lightning bolt fingers, and just come in there and it's so much easier to wipe the board if everything's got 2 and 3 HP, or even less than that, 1, 2, or 3 HP. You can pick off 3 or 4 units sometimes. So it just has incredible synergy across the board, and just makes everything better. Like it's a really, really strong addition to this deck, and I'm sure that's what he realized through his playtesting with the synergy with Snoke, Palpatine, and Perilous Position. Snoke's already been really good with takedown and open fire. We already knew that, but I think it just adds another dynamic. And then you can even, it even make an opening better in the sideboard. basically making something have -4/4 and gaining 2 life if you already have the perilous position on something. So it's just an awesome card. It makes your force chokes better, makes just about everything susceptible to being killed on the ground for the most part. Especially if you pair it with Snoke. Of course, it's also just great against Jango Red in general. To go alongside Entrenched and make an opening. It's just multiple ways of dealing with those space units, but Perilous Position and Make an Opening in particular to deal with Lurking TIE Phantom, because that can be a difficult card for control decks. You could argue that you could play a third copy of Entrenched, which I think is worthy of a consideration. I would even argue that you could play more than 50 cards in BOSSK, because one of its weaknesses is getting milled, and you do draw a lot of cards, so I don't think you're going to be messing with your consistency too much by adding, like, I would say up to 54 cards. I think you'll be okay. Sabine can be a little more of a difficult matchup, potentially. I think just play that matchup a ton and test it a ton, and I think you get a feel for it, and I think you will feel like you're in favor against them. I think a really good Sabine player can absolutely give you a hard time, and that is you're absolutely susceptible. If you don't find the right pieces of removal at the right time. But I actually don't think Sabine is your hardest aggro matchup. I think like Kylo Red or like Han Go Wide, like decks that just, or even like Rex Green, just something like that where like they're going so wide that your individual pieces of removal are less effective, and they're able to ping you for 2, 3, 4 damage, and do it repeatedly a turn, so it adds up, and you're not able to remove everything early on, and then it's just too much by the time that you're able to try to stabilize. So I think those matchups are a little harder. I think Kylo Red has potential to be relevant. I think Rex does too, but it's still early on. It's a new archetype. So the only other thing that I would say that I would do differently in this deck is play Tech as my 51st card, just to have that ability to get cards back from your resources. Is just really awesome in here, especially when a lot of times early on you're just kind of tucking away your big payoffs because they're too expensive early on, and Tech just kind of gives you that other dynamic. And to me, it's always, like I've said before, it's always going to be my 51st card in a deck where it makes sense. And then his top end is basically Palp, Snoke, Avenger. Crate Dragon's going to be coming in for more control matchups and mid-range matchups, I would imagine. He has the other 3 copies of Make an Opening in the sideboard, probably to deal with more aggressive decks as well as space decks, like Jango. Force Choke is going to be for more like Sabine matchups, where you could just take out Sabine immediately when it flips, or any deck where it's relevant for that 5 damage is more important. The Clan Saxon, I think, is just in there for more Jango Red, I would imagine. The Snoke's really good against Jango Red. It's really good against aggro. It's really good against any deck that tries to play a lot of like 3/2 units, or has decks, units that have shields. Snoke's just very, very good against aggro decks. It just completely shuts them down. And even their big units, like their 7/6s and 6/6s, it makes them a 5/4 or 4/4, which is so easy to kill and immediately puts them in takedown range, which is why he plays 3 takedown. I would imagine. But yeah, really like this list, and it makes a lot of sense why it won the event. I think it has well-rounded matchups. It's in a really good spot. I would imagine you'll see more of this deck as we continue to see big tournaments. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually play on Karabast, because Karabast is finally updated. Yay! So we're going to play this deck out and kind of just, I'm playing my list. It's a little bit different. Some of the changes in mine are just tweaking things a little bit here or there, more for my playstyle, just to have a little bit of a better way to handle aggro decks. And then, of course, as I've talked about before, I play Tech in my BOSSK list, and I also play 54 cards, because one of BOSSK's weaknesses is getting milled out, especially because I would imagine that after people see how well this deck just did and going 10-1 in a 200-player tournament, and how it just literally has good matchups across the board, that means there's going to be a lot more control mirrors on the forefront. So you know, I've tailored my list a little bit more to match that. If you want to see my updated BOSSK list, that's going to be in on my Patreon. It's already been updated. As I'm trying to get started with that, I put a lot of time and effort into this game and into these decks, and Patreon is just a way to show me additional support and, you know, get some additional perks. So definitely check that out if you're interested in seeing the updated version of that list. But we're going to get into some games here on Carabas, so I can kind of show you some lines of play. And we're going to be playing against, you know, some of the decks that just finished top 8. We're going to be playing against Jango Red, Sabine Yellow, and Cad Bane Red. And just 3 games because the games take a lot longer when you're playing Control. So I don't want you to be sitting here for watching these games for 2 hours. But as always, please like and subscribe. And please check out my Patreon. And, you know, even if you're just able to support as a free member, I greatly appreciate it. But let's get into some games, and let me show you how BOSSK Blue performs. All right, up against Jango Red. What do we got here? Deathmark, Power of the Dark Side is good. Gonna go Avenger and... I'm thinking takedown. Okay, it's a good start for us, I would say. Let Snoke go here. Nice. Yep. Get rid of that Phantom. Okay. Probably gonna let client go here. I think we just have so many answers for things right now. This is a good time to lay this down, because we don't really care if it gets exhausted. It's just a way to block things on the ground. Okay. What do you reveal? Waylay? Okay. Well, that's... Okay. Sure, sure. Card resource. Probably takedown. I like entrench to slow things down in space. If he waylays our Chilson, I do not care. So we're just gonna go face. We're gonna probably play Merciless Contest after this, just to get value so we don't have to kill any of our own units. Okay, Jango. Yeah, I mean, he can merciless. If we merciless contest, he sacrifices Greedo. He could actually get lucky and kill our Chilson without us getting the benefit of that. So is it better to... What do we want to do here? Take our chances with Power of the Dark Side, I guess. Then play Entrenched, I guess. It's just, I mean, it's maximizing our resources. Okay, there's exactly what we talked about. Okay, so Chilson lives. Nice. So ISB agent's just gonna die. If he puts a Vambrace Flamethrower, could just put this on Chilson too, which is actually pretty smart. He can waylay it, which is fine. It's fine, because then he gets to come back. And we only take 3 damage. Yeah, so that's totally fine. I'll take that all day. We need Deathmark here. We could play Chilson plus Entrenched here. Or Chilson plus Pershing. Which I like. If he waylays it again, then we just play Entrenched on Jango. Kind of want to save my Entrenched for Phantom though. Or that. Yeah. Okay. Alright. He did not do anything. Client Vigilance. Pershing. I mean, client definitely has use cases. But we have 2 Vigilance, so not too worried about that. Okay, sure. Trying to think what I want to do here. Is now a good time to flip BOSSK out? Possibly. I really want to get that Jango Fed off the board. But yeah, let's try to find ways to weaken the Jango Fed so we can kill it. So you can't exhaust multiple things a turn. We use BOSSK to try to damage into Jango Fett so we can kill it with either Takedown or Vigilance. And if we can do Takedown, okay, so he has the Flamethrower, like a, yeah, we're just gonna go into that. That way it will have to die. He attacks into Chilson. He can kill our BOSSK, but I don't care about that. And then we can just Vigilance the Starfighter, or play Pershing, either one. Looks like he's going for it. Okay. Sure. We could do Pershing. We could do Merciless Contest. Okay with that. gonna see what he does. Yeah, he chose that. Okay. And then just take down, yeah. Just get all of his units off the board. That's a good find. Resource Pershing here. He's probably not going to resource much more, I would imagine. Yeah. Okay, so let's go Pershing. So we can start digging for cards. This makes us have 4. Okay. Palpatine is nice. More than nice. So we can immediately kill the Ruthless Raider. And start to gain a little bit of board advantage, potentially. Try to draw a card here with Pershing, so we can gain a little more card advantage. Okay. Is that it? Oh, the Ruthless Raider's ability. Okay, I think we're just going to claim the initiative here. Take 5 from Fet's Fire Spray. We don't have an answer for that, but we do have Snoke, which is disgusting, or even Laser Blast, which is good. I think I want to keep all these cards. Snoke makes us take 3/4 sets up Fire Spray to be weaker. Could also Perilous Position that. I think I want to keep all these cards. I mean, Perilous Position this turn plus Snoke next turn makes that card pretty irrelevant. We could still use Vigilance this turn if he doesn't immediately attack him with Greedo. Either way, we can mill him as an option. Yeah, going into Snoke next turn, basically Fet's Fire Spray becomes a 1/2, which is crazy. Perilous Position plus Snoke is nuts. So he's going for Palp, okay, it's fine. Did he get a card? He did not. Let's draw a card with Pershing again. Sweet, Force Choke is not bad. I think Chilson's a solid option here. Yeah, he's just daring raiding our Palpatine, okay. Do we need to gain life? Not at the moment, no. I think we got time. Okay. Just claim the initiative, get Snoke down. Snoke will basically eliminate that and set up some stuff. Okay. Force Choke. Tell the Dragon is another answer for another Fet's Fire Spray. We could Force Choke plus Snoke if we resource something else. I don't really want to, though. I think we're just going to pass on resourcing again. 9 resources is usually a good spot for us. I mean, he could have Waylay for Snoke, I guess. gonna try to get in with Chilson here. Starts closing this game out. Okay, take our 1. Get in for 6. Okay. Bringing in the big guy, Heavy Persuader, okay. Find the initiative and vigilance, gain some life. I don't think I want to resource any of these. Vigilance, heal, defeat. And then attack in if we can. Game. Alright, up against Jango yellow. I mean, not Jango. Sabine yellow. No, let's let go of Laser Blast and Avenger, I think. Can perilous position here. Just fine. Alrighty. We're just gonna open fire the red 3 here, I think. Another perilous position. I hate to resource a second laser blast. I just don't see that being useful for a while. Okay. So we got Chilson BOSSK next turn. See what our opponent does here if he has any spice. Okay. Interesting. Probably just playing Chilson here. Snoke is going to be really impactful. Is there a better play for us than Chilson right now? No, there is not. Bring out BOSSK and start swinging in. Okay. Let's go there, claim initiative, then play perilous position on Sabine and kill it. Okay. Vigilance is good too. we play Paris position, then yeah, so we decisions. Wrecker is definitely a card we have to worry about. So we should just play Vigilance on Crafty Smuggler, take our chances with Sabine. Are we just letting Avenger go? I think so. I want to keep the Fell the Dragon just in case. We still have a tech in our deck too if we really want to find. This way we're setting up a knockout for Sabine too. And removing a unit on board so they can't do anything spicy. Yeah, 7 resources, okay. Palpatine's nice. That's nice. I mean, we have so many good cards here. Just gonna Vigilance, kill Sabine, and then play Laser Blast into Snoke, into Palp. Yep. Seems like a good plan. See if he commits anything more to the board here. No, he did not. I don't think we need restock. Okay. 7 resources. I don't think we need restock. Could always get it back with tech also. Could just drop a Snoke, right? Or just kill that. Snoke makes this a 1-powered unit. And then it makes our Palpatine next turn even better. Okay. So we have a few options. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely probably just going to go Palpatine and just 2/2 and then 2 damage to something else. Okay. Sure. Okay. I don't really want to resource any of these cards. I think we're, what I like to do when I play this is just stay at this level. And liberated slaves. So we'll do 2 there, 2K, so 2 to that. I just kind of stay at 8 resources until I find an Avenger again, and then just close things out. I'm going to force them to have to deal with Snoke. I'm just going to attack their face. Maybe not. Maybe just get a unit off the board. So we don't have another Vigilance in our hand or a top target at the moment. Okay. 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 Gets in for 1 there, 2 there. Okay. Do need a way to deal with that, so we could just Palpatine again, I guess. Has raid 1, so it gets in for 1. That gets in for 1. I think we just want to Palpatine here again. Until we find some life gain. Yep. Okay. Opponent's done. Getting Snoke palped. Snoke palped. Hand looks pretty solid. No mulligan. Look at Crate Dragon and Avenger, I think, just to have early interaction, and that's 8 turns away. You can always get those back with tech later on in the game. Perilous Position is going to be a good card for Cad Bane, the leader. Okay. We can Perilous Position Crafty Smuggler, actually. Get some card draw. Deal damage. This also allows us to force choke that if we want to instead of Perilous Position. Probably letting go Bounty Hunter Crew here. Yeah, the good thing about Perilous Position is it does allow us to deal with like Larking TIE Phantom as well, which is another card we need to look out for, especially because our make-in openings are in the sideboard. So let's just deal that, draw 2 cards, claim initiative, and go from there and see what we find. And see what we're having to deal with here. Okay. I'm sorry. He just played another one of those, okay. That's totally fine. Another Avenger. I'm gonna save our Perilous Positions here. How many? We have an Avenger resource already. Avenger's gonna be pretty important in this game. How important is Fell the Dragon gonna be? I don't think Fell the Dragon's that important. I guess it's good against that's Fire Spray. We can pull it out for 6 if we get the right cards. He comes out on 6 resources, right? Let's just go ahead and get this down to just slow down our interaction, so we're not having to interact with his units every turn. If he surprise strikes or whatever he does, that's fine. It's a good waste of a surprise strike. Okay. McClunky, okay. Sure. That's fine, man. Again, he's not doing anything, and yeah, he's not doing much there. Another Chilson just to follow it up. I think we can let go one of these. TIE Phantom. I really want to have a good answer for that, but I think we still need a Chilson. We can. I'm sorry, what just happened? Okay. What's going on here? Oh, I keep selecting 5, my bad. So he's got to have the exact same combination of stuff again. I'm going to pull out BOSSK this time. He's doing it again? Okay. Cool, I guess. Wow. All the McClunkies, huh? So we're gonna pass. We are gonna pass. And let him play a unit and attack into it. Go ahead and just attack into it. See what he does. He's going initiative to take out our Chilson. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what we can do here is kill whichever. Okay, he had his 3rd copy of McClunky, which is crazy, but he can't play a unit now. So that's fine. Again, we can pull Restock out later. I don't need it right now. We have Perilous Position as well as Power of the Dark Side here. Okay. Yeah, so we just Power the Dark Side. And then we can just entrench that. Or Perilous Position it. We have Entrench for Lurking TIE Phantom as well. Client seems... I don't know. Seems a little less important in this matchup. We're almost at Snoke here, so we're taking another 2 from that. Get Entrenched Cad Bane or Perilous Position it to where it literally gets nothing accomplished. I mean, I'm not that worried about taking 2 damage, right? Not really. We're playing Snoke next turn too, right? So Snoke does things. Okay. This gives us some card advantage. See what he does here, if he plays anything else, like a Greedo or anything. Nope. Avenger's nice. Do we need 2 Avengers? Possibly. I mean, what do they have? Their best answer is Waylay, right? Okay. Can always get it back. Okay. Sure. 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 Okay. He will not be attacking us at all. He could have a Waylay, though. If he doesn't have the Waylay, then it immediately puts him in a pause state of gameplay where he has to think. Search for a trick, okay. So he might be searching for like a surprise strike or something. Our first action here, oh god, this so many good actions. Avenger is not the greatest at this moment. I kind of want to just use these things. Yeah, we're gonna wait on the Avenger. I'm gonna just go here and just kill that. Okay, 4 alarm for 2. Is he doing it? He could do 2 damage with Ruthless Raider too. When it dies, it's not a special unit. That is though. Let's go. We have 8 resources. Let's go top target here. Again, we're just going to take out 4 alarm probably. Okay, Zuck is coming in as a 5/5, okay. Kill this and gain some life. I could actually undo that. Let's kill this and gain 5 health with top target on Snoke to make it harder to kill, and that he just spent his whole turn trying to kill it. Such an underappreciated ability of that card. He claimed the initiative. Okay. That's fine. Second Snoke, which is amazing. I'm gonna let this go. I don't really want to have to kill my own unit at any point. Okay. Sure. Sure. Let's go here. We're gonna just start and remove their board to make Avenger more impactful. Another job. Okay. That's cute. Looks like he literally is playing the exact same list that was in the tournament. Let's just go ahead and drop down Avenger. Get to our end game. Need to toot our face. Okay. Deathmark, Power of the Dark Side. Snokey Snoke. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it all. Guess the purpose of killing Jabba is so he can't surprise strike my Snoke, but then we have another Snoke, so it doesn't really matter. You could have Crate Dragon. Okay. What do you return, Avenger? Now the purpose is to make Avenger more impactful. Okay. Open fire. Okay. Cartel Spacer we don't care about. Sure. Try the dark side. Greedo just dies immediately. He can do 2 damage to our Snoke, which is fine. So he did all that to get 1 Snoke taken care of, and then we're just going to play another one. Isn't that so much fun? I'm having a great time. I know he's probably not, but... Sneak attack. Nice. Does 2 damage to me. We have not found any of our vigilance yet. So he sneak attacked that card. See what it does. Yeah, so it's gonna get defeated. So it's gonna die. So we might as well just get some value out of it and draw some cards. It's fine. Bazine, he's taking Avenger. Sure. Sure. He did not take... Oh, he did take Avenger, okay. Once we hit our Vigilance, we're just going to mill him out. Gain life and mill. Palpatine's nice. I don't think we need Deathmark anymore. Let's see. We have Palp, so let's go. Merciless Contest could be good in case he has a Crate Dragon. Let's go top target first. Yeah, so our game plan now is pretty much mill, just because of where things are at. We're at see what he does. I think Great Dragon's the best card he could have. Yeah, it's not a problem. Seven resources. Boba Fett's armor. Okay. Just gain 6 life, go to 14. Just take care of that. Go ahead and get that down and pass. There's the vigilance that we've been looking for. I'm just gonna pass. 14 cards there. I think vigilance, mill. Okay, Forlom to take our shield off, I guess. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Just gonna gain a ton of life. This turn with vigilance. Sure. Heal. Defeat, I guess. Do we want to mill or heal? Let's just mill and defeat. Yeah. And pass. I think we are golden, man. I don't think there's much they can do at this point. I'm not a big fan of milling out my opponents, but sometimes you just got to roll with what your opponent gives us. I mean, our opponent did a lot of things to be, what's the word? Difficult. So, yeah. Yep. So we're gonna force choke Palp to clear it out. Actually, making him draw cards is a good thing too. Go down to 3. Play the Palp. And pass. And he's down to 7 total cards. He'll start taking mill damage. Okay. Sure. We're just gonna go ahead and close this out. I'm not worried about a 2-powered Jango Fett. Could actually entrench Palp and overwhelm him, but we're just gonna go ahead and mill. If he plays something weak, we'll just defeat it. Okay, it's fine. Just entrench so that it cannot attack our base. And then mill and shield. And pass. And pass. And now he can just kill it with vigilance if he attacks into Palp. Okay, he took our vigilance here with his Bazeem, just the last card in his hand, I would imagine. Okay. I'm just going face. Okay. Are we just defeating shielding again? Yeah, I think so. Defeat, shield. Using the shield ability on Vigilance. Fun stuff, man. Guess it didn't really matter, right? And initiative, he's gonna take 6 damage. And then we're just going to blow up the board and say good game. Good the game. Yeah. You know, and part of that too is like we're playing 54 cards. That's one of the things that I talked about, is playing a little bit more cards with BOSSK, because that's one of its weaknesses, is getting milled. I have toyed around with even playing 60 cards because you do draw enough cards in this game with this deck. But yeah, that was a, good matchup. Cad Bane has some interesting cards, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty dominant. Ruthless Raider. Yeah, so for the post-game wrap-up, so some of the biggest things I noticed, Perilous Position has such great synergy with Snoke. So just like putting -2 on something like Fet's Fire Spray, and then playing Snoke, and then it becomes a 1-powered unit that at any point in time you can use a Vigilance on, or, just Perilous Position is really, really good card, and it really does give this deck even more power. Palpatine, has great synergy with Snoke as well, and I do think that the 3 copies makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure you need to play it in the main board necessarily, but just in general, when you start like Snoke palping your opponents, like, it's just nuts. And then even Make an Opening, has synergy now because of Perilous Position. It makes Make an Opening better. It makes Takedown better. It makes a lot of the removals in your deck better. Merciless Contest is definitely strong, but it can be a little awkward at times because you don't want to use it and kill your own Snoke. That's the only time I'd really want to do that, is if I'm like killing an Avenger or a Crate Dragon. That's the only time I'm really doing it, if I have a strong unit out like that. So it's good, but it's definitely awkward sometimes, especially when you're trying to close the game out. But yeah, I mean, this deck is super strong. I would say this is the control deck to beat if you're a control player. Definitely ask me any questions if you have any. I've played this deck for a long time now. I've been a control player for years now. Control is my preferred style of play. So if I was going to play in a tournament, this is the deck I would play. I talk about this deck pretty frequently because it's my favorite deck to play. But Perilous Position really does bring a power level notch up to this deck, especially like early and mid game, to just exhaust leaders and just to deal with another way to deal with Lurking TIE Phantom, or just deal with space heavy decks, and just to set up your knockouts with your Palpatines and your Snokes. So it's just really, really sweet. Love where this deck is at right now. This deck, another thing to talk about, like, so, we didn't see a lot of like Count Dooku's or Rex's, or even, I think there was a little bit of Kylo Red in that tournament in Birmingham. But if we start to see more go wide strategies, then that's when you're going to want to bring in cards like Bloodsport or Bombing Run potentially, maybe as sideboard cards, or really just depends. I do think Rex has a lot of potential. It just maybe people haven't figured out the right list yet. Like, I don't know. I've been testing out my Rex list against Jango Red, and it does a really good job. So I don't know. But if in case things go a little more wide, or even Han go wide starts to be more prevalent again, obviously Snoke is a really good answer for that anyways. But you might want to consider cards like Bloodsport. Order 66 is another one in case Jedi decks start to become more prevalent. But it seems like right now the main things to deal with are Jango Red, which this deck has a very good matchup against, in my opinion. Sabine, I think a really good Sabine player can definitely give you a tough time, but I still feel like I have an advantage over them because I'm a seasoned control player. I have a ton of experience. So for me, I know exactly what the aggro player is trying to do, and and I know what I'm the best ways to stop it, because I used to play a ton of aggro before control, and I've mentioned this before, but like one of the ways to get better as an aggro player is to learn how to be a really good control player, because then you realize the lines of play from the opposite sides of things, and how to what you're trying to do as an aggro player, and then as a control player, what you're trying to do to stop that aggro player. And it really helps you to be a better aggro player, to play more precise with your decision making and not just overcommit to the board. But yeah, if you have any questions or any thoughts or feedback, definitely let me know. Definitely check out my Patreon. I greatly appreciate all the love and support, and y'all have a good one. Peace out.